I'm Eric Russell. I am out and about at Richmond Triangle Players with Rick Skye and Tommy Femia in their show, Judy and Liza, Together Again. Fantastic show. Thank you. Absolutely loved it. So let's give a little background about who you are, how you came to be Judy and Liza.
It started on a dare. A friend of mine from high school dared me to do it. He was begging me for years, and about 10 years after graduation, I just told him, shut up and write the damn thing. And we learned it and did it we meant to do 2 shows.
He did Ann Miller, right?
He did Ann Miller. 2 Tuesdays at 5, because we were so frightened. We don't want people to see us doing women, all that. All the critics that didn't come see me as a guy, because I did years before, boy cabaret, whatever, they all came to see Judy and Ann Miller. And since then, it's just been an uphill. I just love doing her. She's so out of her mind. So am I. So it's a marriage made in heaven.
And for you?
I guess about 12 years ago, I write shows and things like that. So I had written a show called The Cabaret, and there was a song called My Chair. That's like a take-up on Liza. And all the other actors who were in it had 5 roles to play, and they were busy changing their costumes and things, and no one could do this number. So I said, well, okay, I'll do it then. And I put on a wig and some lipstick, and it was a big hit. And then after the show closed, I continued to do that song around town, and people kept saying, you should do another one, and you should write something else, and there should be a whole evening, and I couldn't picture it. But then after about a year, I came up with a whole evening, and I've been doing it for maybe 12 years, and it's grown, and I've done it all around the world and things like that.
But this isn't the first time you guys have performed together, because you do your own cabaret
Yeah, it was
shows.
about, 2 years ago when we first did it in Fort Lauderdale.
He got booked in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, I had done this theater a few times, and then they talked about, Liza and doing a Judy. I was like, oh my God, Rick Skye. I said, call him, make it happen. And they did.
So we met on the plane.
Yes!
What's this going to be? We had 3 days, and we said, do this.
On the
and then it was
plane,
a
right?
really big hit. I mean, it was just sold out.
Oh, God, yeah.
And so Tommy has a show every 2 weeks at Don't Tell Mom and says, Judy. And he said, well, why don't we make it a Judy Liza show and see how it goes? And it's been 2 years.
We meant to do like 2 months, just to have some fun, shake it up.
Yeah,
and then it's been almost 2 years, right?
Yeah. And we just won the MACC Award.
The MACC Award.
That's right.
Manhattan Association of Cabarets and Clubs.
For Best Duo or Group.
And you're up against what other groups?
What's that group from Gay Men's Chorus?
I still don't remember.
I
keep wanting to say the Octomom, but that's not the same guys, but it's not that. But it's,
yeah, there are a bunch of different people, different, duo shows and groups, but we're so self-involved, we don't remember them.
Yeah. One thing is you won.
Yes,
we did.
We won.
That was Bush.
Yo. What is it about Judy and Liza that makes them so iconic and makes people want to see them and makes them gay icons?
Tommy? Well, it's got to do with it being a little over the top. It's got to be partly, rising from the ashes, like the phoenix, because Judy and Liza have both had their horrible downs and horrible ups, but we represent them in a very healthy light, a lot of love.
They're pure show business too, I think, and like I said, I think when I was a kid, things were kind of drab, and I had a lot of emotions that I wanted to express that I couldn't in my sort of home life and everything. And so I remember watching Judy Garland and go, oh, she understands, like she's the way I wish I could be.
It's the passion.
And you grow up and you hope that you're going to, have a life that's like Auntie Mame or something, so you're drawn to those things, and I think they represent that. And any star who's kind of expressing their emotions strongly or living a big life, you kind of want that.
Do you have a favorite song that Judy does that you have in your show, and do you have a favorite line?
My favorite number is Rockabye Your Baby with the Dixie Melody. That's my favorite, followed by Over the Rainbow. And I do a lot of stuff that she didn't do, and the classics too. But those are the 2 that hit me in the heart the most.
What was your dad's favorite song?
My dad passed away about a month ago, and his favorite song was Rockabye. And whenever the key change happened, he'd be like, "Go, Judy, go, go!" And my mother would be, "Shut up, Cosmo." He was my biggest fan.
I guess I love to do maybe this time. I think it's the one moment in the show that I really get to have a really serious moment. And settle for a minute. And then people seem to people from around the world come to our show. It's like a lot of tourists come. And so even if you don't speak English, like New York would be the one, because they're in that city and they want to see Liza sing that.
You think of that song with that city, if you don't hear, you're like, oh.
Yeah. It's really great to be able to sing that. I mean, what role would I play anywhere that I get to do that? So it's really...
Judy's known for Wizard of Oz, and Liza's known, of course, for Cabaret and for Arthur.
And New York, New York.
New York, New York. Do you have a favorite movie or other thing they did that's like your all-time favorite?
Well, my top three is For Me and My Gal with Gene Kelly, which I just adore. Meet Me in St. Louis, and followed by In the Good Old Summertime with Van Johnson. Did I tell you my Van Johnson story?
No.
It was in 1997, and I was on 5th Avenue and 57th Street, and I saw this man trying to hail a cab, like 6'2". Oh my God, that's Van Johnson! And I went up to him, and I said, oh, Mr. Johnson, I just wanted to say, oh, you little boy, you know who I am? I'm like, oh, please. And I said, I had this 20-foot poster of In the Good Old Summertime, and he went, oh, Judy, God bless you. And I'll never forget it till the day I croak. He put, the cab was coming, the cab finally stopped, we were there for 5 minutes talking. He put his arms around me, and he gave me the biggest hug and said, oh, thank you so much, baby. And I'll never forget that as long as I live. I will defend him and love him forever.
Fantastic. Do you have a favorite memory?
I don't have a Van Johnson story. I can tell.
That you can tell. He did more
I was
with
a
those
big
Red
Judy
Sox.
fan before I was a big Liza fan, and you were saying Summer Stock. You love Summer Stock. I love Judy.
Yeah,
and
love
and
Summer
the reason
Stock.
I love Judy and Summer Stock is because a lot of her movies, when she became a big star from Meet Me in St. Louis on, were period pictures where she was in like a bustle. There was a Harvey Girl, a pirate, and then in Summer Stock's the one movie at that era where she's in like 1950 clothes. She's got 1950 hair, and she's a modern girl again. And she's really intense in that movie, and I like that. But I guess with Liza, I love many parts of New York, New York. I think she's got some of her deepest work there. I think if people watch that again, you see like she was really doing great work in that.
What makes for a good impersonation of someone like Judy or Liza? What's it take?
Heart. It does. You have to come from here. Otherwise, it's just a plastic.
And believe.
Yeah.
I believe every second that I'm on stage.
You must believe what you're doing.
Absolutely her.
Absolutely. Whether it's
And then the
comedy,
audience goes,
camp.
Even if some of the specifics, I mean, we're men in dresses, so some of the specifics are going to be slightly off. But what makes the audience it gets magical every night after a little while, is because their minds let them fill in the blanks.
You have phenomenal chemistry from the time you hit. It's like
When we met, and it was like instant best friends. I knew who he was for years, but we just never knew each other.
We're the same showbiz types. We're kind of the same showbiz cloth. And we love each other. I mean, and you can't fake that relationship on stage. I think
adore
people
him.
get that we really love to sing together. We love each other, and it's it's just
the
kisses
songs,
my ear. And it's great.
the songs in the show. Do you the same songs all the time, or do you change?
Well, we know every few months you put a number taken around. But now, thanks to here in Virginia, we put in numbers we never did together last night. And it clicked. Everything just clicked. So we're going to put these things that we learned in Virginia in our New York show.
I'll refresh the New York show.
It's fantastic. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
I was just entertained and just laughing, going.
It was a good show, wasn't it?
Magnificent. People who didn't see it missed out on a rare treat.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's great having you guys.
We have
here.
to come back.
We're two old vaudevillians. Oh yes, David, you heard that.
Book them again.
Is there a young one?
Every couple weeks. Bring them back down.
And this theater is great.
This theater.
They do anything for you. It's always
The
there's something
staff
magical
is
about
fabulous.
this place.
Yeah.
Really.
They really care. It's not bull shit.
Right.
Yeah, they really do care here. And the stage is enormous, and
They try very hard to give you what you want. It's really great.
With summer coming. Well, I was going to bring up with summer coming.
Coming. It's 90 degrees today.
I know. It's already here in Virginia. Judy has a birthday on the 10th.
right
But then she also died
on the 22nd.
So it's because it's Pride Month. There's like the whole full
Sure.
circle thing there. Do you think it's really important, big moment, in terms of like gay history or just Judy herself?
Well, it's kind of generational, a little bit. I mean, there's always going to be young people who find the older stars and things like that. And for
Like we did when we were kids.
Judy was, and there are still kids today who find her.
Right.
But they're going to have their own people. She'll always be a symbol of Stonewall, and that's just a frozen moment in time.
Right.
So no matter what happens from now till then, that will always be the beginning. So, she is important as far as that goes, and to that generation. That's sort of the first generation of people who came out at all.
Right.
Was that time period. Summer's coming, kids are heading off to college or heading out from college to the work world. what message or bit of advice would you give to them, whether we're in the show business or kids just going out into work or average kids going into show business?
If you're going into show business, just quit.
I was just going to say, if you go into the show
We
business,
don't need the competition.
don't.
Just don't do it. And,
It's not the healthiest lifestyle.
yeah, listen, if I could say quit and you quit, you aren't going to do it anyway. It's when people say you quit, and you're still there, 20 years later. That's, that person's going to make it, or at least work. But to the average child, I say just don't be afraid of anything. Live your life and do everything you possibly
You
can.
have to be
Enjoy every
fearless to gain anything.
Get anything. Yeah.
Where it's too easy to just be scared and frightened. Oh, it's too gay, or it's this, too that. Forget about it. Find your forte and go with it. That's what we did. It's not a magic, just do it. Just do it.
Predictions for the Tonys on Sunday?
Well, I want my dear friend Judith Light to win. She's nominated for Best Supporting Actress in a Play.
And I want my dear friend Stockard Channing to win.
Who's also up against those.
And Van Johnson. I want my dear friend Van Johnson.
My dear friend Van Johnson.
But I think Tracy Bennett might get it for End of the Rainbow because even though we don't love some of the specifics of her Judy, she is giving a big performance in a big show.
It's a great performance.
It's one of those things you can maybe not ignore because it's such
I think it would have been better if they kept it the way it originally started. And there was originally a play about some singer and all that. Had they left it that way, I think it would have been a more successful play. It possibly would have gotten a nomination for Best Play, which it didn't, had they done that.
You'll find out
So
on Sunday.
Tony's a big thing here in Virginia?
We're having a big party here.
You coming tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, great,
I'm here.
great.
Love the Tonys. Tony.
What about your fans out in television land?
No.
Will they be here?
They'll be here too.
Oh, good.
Through the magic of, the YouTube. This has been fantastic.
Twice. It's been
Twice.
fantastic.
2 times, 3 times, but that's a really special night. Thank you for doing
Thank
this.
you.
Thank you, Teddy Bear.
Thank you.
Mwah. Harder.
It's enough.
Ooh, I like that. I got a husband waiting for me. Oops.
Hello.
This has been absolutely fantastic.
Hasn't it?
Thank you. I've been
Twice.
with... Twice. I think 3 times. I'm Eric Russell, and I've been out and about at Richmond Triangle Players with Rick Skye and Tommy Femia and their Judy and Liza. Together again.
Oh, they should go to the Don't Tell Mamas New York City
There we go.
website, and they can see when we're playing and where we're playing.
And it's don'ttellmama.com or just Don't Tell Mama?
Don't Tell My NYC.
NYC. Very good, because we'll find out more about and where you can see them. And hopefully they'll be back here again soon, maybe. And if you missed this show, you missed an absolutely fantastical night. But you can also check out the other June Cabaret acts here at Richmond Triangle Players. Some of them are selling out quickly, so go to rtriangle.org and book for the upcoming events. You don't want to miss these this summer. I'm Eric Russell, and you never know where I'll turn up next. Maybe here, maybe in New York. Under there. You never know. So tune in next time to find out. I'll see ya.
Bye-bye.